What's up, guys? This is Seth here on Modern Da Vinci. I want to get you off to a great start with your business in 2017. This is the time of year that a lot of business owners are sitting down and they're thinking about, what do I want to accomplish this year? You're thinking about writing goals, objectives, milestones, measurements, and that is a great thing to do. So I want to help you with that in this video by touching on two things. First, mistakes I see business owners make when it comes to this process. These are mistakes that result in a lot of frustration, time wasted, and crappy plans that you never end up using. So I'm going to help you with those. Number two, I want to point out a great place to start with your plan that'll set the perfect foundation for what you want to accomplish in this year. All right? In subsequent videos, we'll talk more about planning, but for today, for this video, that's all we want to cover. All right, let's talk about 3 planning mistakes that cause business owners a lot of headaches when it comes to planning, and they're all totally avoidable. Number 1, trying to come up with a perfect plan. I'll call it, getting caught in the perfection trap. Look, you got a lot on your mind. There's probably 1,000 different things you'd like to accomplish. Lots of goals, lots of ideas. You'd love to articulate those in the perfect way. You want everything to make perfect sense and add up perfectly. Problem is, perfection is not a good goal. This is a sloppy process. When you come up with your first version of a plan, it doesn't have to be your final. Don't let perfection get in the way of progress when it comes to planning. When you do, and you get hung up trying to write every goal, perfect, beautiful wordsmith, right? Make sure everything's exactly how you think it should be. It just takes a lot of time. It causes a lot of frustration. And what I see a lot of business owners start to do is procrastinate because the process gets annoying. They get drawn back into the day-to-day, and that's understandable, but it's a waste, and you're going to pay the price for that down the road, all right? So perfection is not the goal. Get your best ideas down and just roll from there. Number 2, the audience for your plan is you, your team, your partners, and your staff, not anybody outside of the organization. So don't get hung up trying to come up with some fancy marketing document. I see this a lot. Small business owner, they want the plan to be impressive. They put a lot of effort into putting a nice cover on it. It's almost like they're going to go take it and hand it to someone who's maybe coming in to evaluate the company, right? Some kind of outside investor. That's great. If that's what you're doing, go for it. But when it comes to a plan that's meant to organize you, prioritizing your business, get your team going in the right direction, you don't need that. It doesn't matter what it looks like. And it's okay if the plan covers things that aren't going well in the business. If there's weaknesses that are acknowledged that need to be shored up. Corrective action, part of the plan. That's okay. The audience, people inside the organization. All right. So don't get hung up trying to make some fancy marketing statement that makes it look like everything's beautiful and rosy in the company. All right. Nobody really gives a crap. What matters is that you're setting priorities for yourself and your team. Last, don't try to plan for like 3 to 5 years. Honestly, it sounds good. If you look up a business textbook, go take an MBA in planning, they're going to talk about, you need to plan for a long time horizon. That's great. You're a global corporation. Go for it. Those organizations have researchers, all sorts of staff, teams. They're looking out, looking at the market. Awesome. Most small business owners I know, they don't have that stuff. What's much more realistic, try to focus on a year. All right. And if you're getting stuck with a year, 3 months, 6 months is fine. It's better than nothing. All right. Otherwise, there's just too many things that are going to change. Market's going to change. Technology is going to change. Competition's going to change. You're going to have people on your staff come and go. All those things are going to mess with your plan if you're trying to shoot too far out into the future. All right. So bite off only the right amount to chew, which is probably 6 months, 1 year max. You can redo it. You can adjust it as you go. But again, something is better than nothing. So don't try to come up with the perfect document. Don't try to make it look pretty to impress anybody else. And don't try to predict the future farther than what's realistic and actionable for you. All right. You can focus on those 3 things. You'll save yourself some headaches. Now, what's a good starting point? All right. A lot of organizations, when it comes to what they call a strategic plan, the first thing you see in there is some kind of mission and vision statement. Those are great. A vision statement is usually something aspirational. A mission statement, usually a little more tactical, puts some words around the specifics of what that organization does. What I'm going to suggest is something that's just a little different. I'm going to suggest you start with what I call a purpose statement. Okay. Now, I didn't make this up on my own. As a matter of fact, most of what I'm going to talk about with purpose statements comes from a great book called The Advantage by a guy named Patrick Lencioni. That book was really written with larger corporations in mind, right? Now, earlier I said don't worry about what big companies do, and I stick with that, but this is one piece that actually is great that I think cascades to businesses of any size. A purpose statement answers the question, why does this organization exist? So this is your starting point. Sit down and you ask the question, why does my company exist? Now, the first answer that I hear back, or that you may hear back from yourself, is usually one that's a little bit superficial. It may be something like to make money, or to provide IT services, or to be the best, whatever you do in the organization. That's fine. I'm going to challenge you to push a little deeper than that. What is it that your organization does that really truly contributes to making the world a better place? So you need to kind of keep asking and thinking through the answer. The deeper you go, the closer you're going to get to the real true answer. A way to do that is to just keep asking the question, why? So my business exists to serve a certain client. Why? Well, I have a true passion for that client. Why? Because I believe that the work that I do or the work that they do is, absolutely meaningful, changes lives, improves people's situations, whatever it might be. Now you're getting somewhere, all right? So let me give you an example. Think about a hospital, okay? And we talked about mission and vision statements earlier. A hospital might have a very standard mission statement or vision statement, something about, helping their patients. Mission statement, something more technical around the types of care they provide, specific services they offer. Again, those are great. If you really push an organization like that to focus on purpose, though, you can come up with an answer like this: to alleviate pain and suffering in the world. Does that sound incredibly idealistic? Yes, it does, but that's okay. It's our starting point for our plan, all right? Let me make you another key point here. Don't try to do this on your own. It's going to take some time. You got a team, you got people that you trust to work with you in the business. Do this in brainstorming style. Throw it up on the whiteboard. Keep asking the questions until you guys get to something you really like. I'll give you one more example, and I'm going to give it for Modern Da Vinci. We challenged ourselves to ask these questions, and what we got to was that because we believe truly in the power of small businesses as not only a key backbone of the nation, but as it's really an incredible feat to start, run, and grow a business. Because of that, our purpose is to help small business owners grow with purpose and speed. That's what we want. So it took a little work to get to that, but for us, having that as a foundation allowed us to set the plan for the rest, or set the foundation for the rest of our plan. All right? Again, this is just the first part in a video that's going to be addressing all this. So hang with us. We'll give you some key pointers in the comments below, and then we'll move forward with what you should take, the next steps you should take with your planning process. All right? Thanks, and talk to you soon.